What's up, guys? It's Wes. So we're back again with another one of our favorite brushes videos, but this time it's not going to be for Procreate. This time it's not going to be for Photoshop. It is going to be for Clip Studio Paint. Now, before we get too far into it, just know that you can import Photoshop brushes into Clip Studio Paint. However, for this video, we're going to focus on brush packs that are natively compatible, meaning it has the extension that uses Clip Studio Paint primarily. So just know that these will work natively with Clip Studio. They won't go into other programs, but a lot of these brush makers have made similar, if not identical, brush packs for other programs. So I'm going to link to all these brush packs in the description below like I normally do. So it'll probably go to their online shop so you can dig around, but just know these come highly recommended. So without further ado, let's take a look at 3 of my favorite brush packs for Clip Studio Paint. All right, so we are here. We're digging into Clip Studio Paint. Now, just overall, Clip Studio Paint is stellar. If you haven't bought a copy, I know you can actually just outright buy a perpetual license, like a one-time purchase on desktop, and I highly recommend it. Now, I do know on like tablets and mobile devices and stuff, yeah, you have to do a subscription license. I haven't used the mobile version of Clip, but I've heard it's also extremely good. So I know subscriptions are kind of, you know, do you want to add another bill to your arsenal of stuff? All of our bills are like stacking up, right? So I understand if you don't want to go that route, but I do highly recommend the perpetual license. I use it almost every day now. Like it's fast becoming my primary workhorse as far as doing client work, personal work, professional work, all that stuff. So yeah, overall Clip is awesome, but you already know that. That's why you're here. So we're going to be taking a look at 3 brush packs. Now, before we get too far in the weeds there, I did want to touch real quick on kind of what we're working on the video. Basically, I am having a huge nostalgia trip on PlayStation 1 era Japanese role-playing games. That's what I grew up on. I know them like the back of my hand. I even got a new Retroid Pocket, the 3 Plus, and I'm going to use it as a strictly emulation machine. That thing is going to be a workhorse. I'm going to dump all my ROMs and ISOs and stuff from my games. So yeah, totally nerding out. But this is some studies of Ryu from Breath of Fire 3, pound for pound. I mean, it might be my favorite Japanese role-playing game of all time, but it's definitely in the top 3 for sure, with kind of Star Ocean: The Second Story and Final Fantasy VII being up there as well. So anyway, I could nerd out on this stuff forever, but this is more of a sketch style. I'm interested in sort of the watercolor-esque, I don't know, kind of a softer pastel look. Something a little different. I've been doing a lot of really thick paint, impasto, really thick brush work, smudges, you know, alla prima style stuff. And I wanted to kind of take a break from that a little bit. I enjoy doing it. It's like comfort food to me. But, you know, the past few years has all been about growth and artistic growth. So that's what we're going with. We're trying some stuff we don't normally try just to see how well it works. So that's what you're going to be watching here, but let's get into it. I know why you're here, so let's get into the highly recommended ones, okay? So the brush packs. Yeah, all of these are going to be native brush packs for Clip Studio Paint. I think it's like .sut files. I need to double check that. I probably should have before I hit record, but anyway, these are all going to be drag and drop into Clip Studio Paint, and I've worked my way to from the most affordable to the most expensive, but the most expensive has a caveat because it's kind of a bundle deal. But I wanted to do it kind of in order. That way, no matter what your budget is, you can go ahead and you can find something natively made for Clip Studio that's going to fit your budget, that's going to be incredible to work with, so much fun. And yeah, so without further ado, let's take a look at the first brush pack. And this is by a incredible artist. Well, I mean, all of these artists are incredible, but specifically, I'm going to call them Seb. but their name is, I believe, Sebijy. Sebijy. It's probably Sebijy now that I'm looking at it with the JY at the end, but Sebijy. Fantastic artist. If you've ever spent any time on ArtStation, they have always trended on the front page. They have an incredible YouTube channel, which I'm going to link in the description. They have a bunch of previews. They have tutorials on their Gumroad for how to paint and all that stuff. And like, I've bought many of them because just incredible to watch. So much fun. Really nice music, all that stuff. But Sebijy has made an essential brush pack for Clip Studio Paint, coming in at right around $4. But you can kind of pay what you want. I think I spent $7 or $8 on it. I just kind of gave the tip because these are incredible. I do fully believe that they are essential brushes. Now, these are very, it's kind of a nice mix of nice painterly edges and bristle brushes, but also what I would consider very illustrative, very kind of graphic design type stuff too. So there's going to be brushes in here that have some hard edges, almost like razor blade hard edges, but there's going to be really nice kind of a noise textured hard round brushes. So there, it's going to be this nice embracing of digital art on this pack, probably more so than the other two that I'm going to mention. So if you really love the look of like, well, of course, Sebijy, but if you love the look of like Craig Mullins, this would be the one to get, in my opinion. It is the most affordable, but don't get it twisted. It's 90 brushes for like $4, which is incredible. That's an incredible value, right? And every brush is a home run. Every single one is useful. Every single one is essential. I mean, the name does not lie. So, I mean, there's going to be all kinds of stuff for you, but I just really enjoy it because they're snappy. They work really quickly. They are, all 90 of them are distinct enough that you're going to be able to solve problems in a different way. Like it's like a dry chalk brush or, kind of a more painterly wet into wet blend, hard round or soft round. A few airbrushes are in there. So you're going to have really everything you need. And yeah, it just comes highly recommended. One, the price is outrageous. It's super good deal, but also every brush is completely functional, meaning that they're going to solve problems that the other, 89 brushes in the pack might handle in a different way. So you're going to have a lot to dig into, a lot to like. And if you go watch Seb's YouTube channel, you're going to get a lot of inspiration, especially using these brushes. So yeah, highly recommended. So the first one is going to be Sebijy's Essential Brush Pack for Clip Studio Paint. Link in the description below. All right, the next one that is near and dear to my heart. I bought this brush pack. Oh my gosh. Back whenever Clip Studio was called Manga Studio. That's when I bought this brush pack, all right? It's been around forever. It is pound for pound my favorite brush pack I've ever bought for any painting program. I'll stake my flag down right now. This is my favorite brush pack. Period. It's the best one I've ever bought. I love it. I use it religiously. Everything in this brush pack is a banger. And that is going to be Ray FRENDEN's 800 plus Clip Studio brushes. So whenever he made this, it was 800 brushes. Now it's closer to 1,400 brushes for the same price of $14.99. Ridiculous. You will never need another brush pack. I know I'm talking about 3 brush packs here. You don't need another brush pack after this one because, like, I love Ray. I was actually able. Me and Ray go way back. We go back to like 2007, 2006. I interviewed him on an old podcast I used to do. And at the time he was doing work for Nickelodeon and Rob Zombie and super incredible illustrator, super nice guy, business owner, man. He's doing like tabletop role-playing games. He has his own cafe now. The dude is a banger. He is a baller. And this brush pack is one of the reasons why, man. This has everything, but it comes from an angle of a working illustrator. So the next brush pack and the Sebijy brush pack has more of the traditional brushes. This brush pack, FRENDEN's 800 plus brush pack, is purely illustrative. Now, that's not to mean you're not going to get great painterly looks. I know you're going to have, there's like all these categories for the brushes, right? So I will say that like Hawley, Hawley, he's named a lot of these after some very traditional kind of ink and, screen tone and screen printing and like tactile, artisanal, handmade illustration stuff. This is very much in that wheelhouse. And there's so many categories. I mean, whenever you have like 1,400 brushes, there's no mistake in it. You know what I mean? Like they're broken up into the files based on what you want to use. There's some essential brushes. He has kind of the greatest hits that you can get. Just import that folder. And I think it's like 60 brushes or so, but it's all of his favorites. So there's different ways to go about this. But I will tell you that the Hawley, Hawley, and the Photoshop, Faux hyphen TOSHOP, that Photoshop pack basically mimics your hard and soft round brushes from Photoshop. The thing is, they are better than Photoshop's brushes, bar none. I will say the Photoshop Wet, each one of these bundles that comes with have different versions of the brushes. So every brush has a dry version, a wet version, a blender version, a flow version, opacity version, whatever you like the tactile feel of your brush. He has made every single one of these brushes in like 8 different ways. So you're going to find something you like. And if you need to do slight tweaks, you can do that too. Open up the brush panel and stuff like that. So, but going back to the point, those Photoshop brushes, the Photoshop Wet brush and the Photoshop Standard brush are pound for pound my 2 most used digital brushes, period. Doesn't matter if it's Photoshop, Procreate, Clip, Rebel, Art Rage, doesn't matter. Those 2 brushes, Photoshop and Photoshop Wet, are worth the price of admission. I have never used better brushes. I have made it my life's goal to try to replicate how those brushes feel in other programs, and I cannot do it. I have made my own brush packs every year since 2019. I'm 5 years going. I still can't figure it out. It's wizardry. I don't know how he did it. I don't know. I need to email him and yell at him and be like, listen, you got to tell me. I'll buy you chicken McNuggets, whatever you want. Tell me what you did to make this happen, because they feel perfect. They feel perfect on my Huion tablet. They feel perfect whenever I would, whenever I had just a touch, not even a touch monitor, but like the graphics tablet, the one that you plug in and just draw on the desk and then you see it on the screen. It worked perfect there too. So I don't know. It has the perfect feel for me. Depending on how much pressure you put, it does a nice wet blend, but it keeps the brush stroke, but it kind of gets rid of it. It's super hard to explain, but it is bliss. If there's any word to describe this brush, man. And this is one brush out of 1,400. I bet, dollars to donuts, there are 200 brushes just as good as this one that fit me perfectly that I just haven't even found yet. So I've owned this thing for the better part of a decade, and there's still brushes I've yet to discover, yet to find all the nuance to. Yeah, for $14, this is, or $15, this is outrageous. Out freaking rageous. Ray FRENDEN is a genius. He's bona fide, man. He is an OG brush maker, but he is pound for pound the best in the business, in my opinion. Just unbelievable. I cannot sing the praises enough. Like I said, I've used this brush pack since like 2010. 14 years, $1 a year. You know what I mean? Like, unbelievable. But yeah, this is Ray Frenden's 800 plus clip studio brushes. Unreal stuff, man. You gotta get them. You can't lose. All right, and the third and final, I would be beaten with various amounts of sticks if I did not mention this as our final brush pack for this first episode, because there are tons of brush packs. You better believe I'm going to be making more episodes of this for all sorts of different, all sorts of different programs. But we have to come to kind of the mamma jamma, the one that everybody in the replies to this video is probably going to be like, if I didn't mention it, they would yell at me. That's how profound these brushes are. And to be completely 100% open, the Ray Frenden brushes and the Sebijy brushes, a lot of them could be based on this brush pack. So if you want to talk about an original gangster, somebody who's been around forever, and not only that, but literally changed the game in Photoshop brush making, Procreate brush making, with this exact brush pack, it would be Daub, D-A-U-B. Now, I'm going to talk here about the SuperBundle. The SuperBundle is the most expensive bundle for Clip Studio Paint. I think it comes in at 17 pounds. I haven't done the conversion yet, but you're looking at about 20 bucks, maybe a little more USD. But it comes with nearly 600 brushes. It comes with like 60 texture files and all sorts of other tools that you can use. It is everything they have made, everything Daub has made for Clip Studio Paint. Now, I'm also going to link not only the SuperBundle, but I'm going to link the full Gumroad page, because each one of these brush packs that's included here is sold separately. So if you don't want to drop, the $20-ish all up front, but you're just interested in, let's say, the watercolor pack, or you're interested in like the expression pack, there's so many that you can look at, that you can let me pull it up here. Yeah, so you get like fluid inks, you get your watercolors, concept art brushes, acrylics, oh man, there's one called King, Queen, and Jack. You get different washes, your pigment brushes, which feel very traditional, very painterly, slight bit of impasto, these are the most painterly brushes. These are the ones that if you're looking for a kind of tradigital, to coin the phrase, a tradigital feel. So they look traditional. They have that nice texture, that nice paper texture, the nice canvas texture. They're wet into wet. They're alla prima. They're able to be controlled, but they have that nice visceral, tangible, traditional art feel. The Daub packs are perfect for you. They are perfect. So I do recommend getting the SuperBundle, because every update on any of the brush bundles you get for free. And you end up saving like $10 to $15 if you were to go and buy each brush pack separately, which I will say, if you bought one of the brush packs, let's say you bought the Watercolor Volume 1 brush pack, you're going to like it enough that like next payday or whatever, you're going to go and you're going to add like 7 brush packs to the cart. It's going to happen. It happened to me. I should have bought the SuperBundle, but I bought these a la carte. In fact, I might buy the SuperBundle because I think there's some exclusive stuff that you only get there, which smart business. It's smart. Tip of the cap. That's a smart move. But yeah, these brushes are kind of the best way I can think of it, and this is kind of in the weeds, but Daub's brush pack reminds me of the brushes that Kyle Webster made for Photoshop. The ones that are kind of every brush that's made for Photoshop is probably based on a Kyle Webster brush. It's sort of the baseline of quality, meaning that it is like the gold standard. Like if you want to make a good brush, if you start with editing one of their brushes, you're you're fine. You know what I mean? You're gonna make a good brush every single time, because there's really nobody better. Like, in my opinion, I know Kyle's with Procreate now, but Kyle made the best Photoshop brushes. You know, I make Photoshop brushes, but a lot of mine were just pivots off of stuff he started. Yeah, kind of the real deal. So Daub is the same way with Clip. Daub's brushes for Clip Studio Paint are kind of the gold standard that all other brush packs stem out from. So if you want the original deal, if you want the real McCoy, grab yourself some Daub brushes. Like I said, I'm going to have the general store in the description, but I do recommend this full super bundle. All right. Like I said, nearly 600 brushes, like 60 plus textures, all sorts of stuff that you can get. Everything is there for you. So a lot of fun. Yeah, that comes highly recommended. All right, and that is it, guys. We got it, and we got it in the bag. We did it. 3 of my favorites. We got Sebijy, we got FRENDEN, we got Daub. You can't do better. We started at the top. You know what I mean? But like I said, we're going to be making some more of these videos for all sorts of different programs, whether it's Art Rage or Rebel. We're going to be doing more Photoshop stuff. So I will say, I love Clip. I know I said this before, I'll say it again. I love Clip. And like I said at the very beginning, you can also import your Photoshop brushes into Clip. Now, it won't bring over every setting. They don't feel exactly the same, but it brings in the brush tip. It can bring in some dual texture stuff. It can bring in stuff like flow, opacity, jitter, like color jitter, hue jitter, value jitter, things like that. It does bring in those functions, but other things, like if you have a mixer brush tool, or if it's kind of specific, if you really dialed in the knobs on Photoshop, it may not bring everything over, but it'll at least get you started and on the way. And in my opinion, the Clip Studio brush engine is better than Photoshop's. So it might be worth it to bring your Photoshop brushes into Clip and see how they perform. So yes, on that point, I do make brushes as well, like I kind of mentioned earlier in the video. If you want to go check out any of the brush packs, including a free brush pack. So if you just got Clip and you need some free brushes, you can import my May Sketch a Day brushes. Those are going to be on sale at www.wesgardner.art. Also, all of my online courses are there. Everything you need. If you want art prints, we got those too. Everything's going to be there on the website. More stuff's added on a regular basis. I'm actually putting up a new product in the next week. I'm putting up 2 online courses by the end of the year. So we're putting in some work. So head on over to wesgardner.art. Get yourself a free brush pack. I'd be so happy to see you over there. But overall, these 3 Clip Studio brush packs, unbelievable. The value is off the charts. Literally, think about this. So for less than like $35, less than $40 after tax or whatever, right? You get 500, 800. You get 2,300 brushes. You know, if you can't find a good brush in the 2,300 brushes, you know, we have to sit down and have a chat, right? But yeah. So something for every budget. Go check out those brushes. Links will be in the description below. Go support these creators. They are incredible. They are geniuses. Yeah, so all the links will be in the description. But until next time, I hope you had fun. Let me know in the comments if there is a brush pack you would like me to talk about for Clip Studio Paint, or really any painting program. Let me know down in the comments below. And I will catch you guys next time. Until we meet again, you know the drill. Go make cool art, and we'll see you soon. Peace.